Quote today from Najee's interview. Najee Harris, the coaches can only coach. At the end of the day, we've got to do what we have to do. I see everybody talking about this coaching stuff, about play calling. Like, bro, do you know how football works? Coaches can only coach. So, I mean, he's basically defending the coaches. He's not putting the coaches on blast. And, you know what I mean? You got Coach Radio here, a.k.a. Coach Canada. And we're going to look at Najee's stats. There's Najee against Baltimore, where he had a great game last year and caught the game winning touchdown pass. That's him right there, silencing Baltimore. And, Najee does got to play better. I think he's not getting enough opportunity to show his God given ability. I think Najee Harris is more of an introverted running back than someone like a Le'Veon Bell, who's just out there saying he's the best, I'm the best, blah, blah, blah. And Le'Veon Bell just ran with he's had a dog different mentality. He ran with like more of a physicality. I don't really see any angry running out of Najee Harris. I think he's the best player on this offense, hands down. He's a 240-pound running back. So obviously, to be 240 pounds and as lean as he is, it's not like he's a big fat Jerome Bettis 250 pounds. This is a lean 240 pounds. So just because he's not out on Instagram every day flexing and lifting and doing all this rah-rah shit, if you're 245 pounds in the way you're just an like he's putting in a tremendous amount of work in the gym. And I could even say, like, a lot of people say they're steroids. The way he's just, I don't know. I don't think he's more lean. He's a lean back, and athletically, he's the most gifted, talented player on this offense. And back to Coach Canada, back to Coach Radio. They say coaches can only coach. Well, coaches got to play. They got to make play calls, and they got to get their best offensive player, aka there he is, Najee Harris, with the game-winning touchdown. That's who you go to. That's the number you dial up if you want to win the game, and that's what happened. We won that game. And if you want to get the most production, that's the number you have to dial up. And I've been talking about this for I don't know how long now, that Najee Harris needs to get the ball, run the ball. I flipped out that first game when Kenny Pickett passed the ball 46 times. That's unacceptable to have your second year quarterback. Basically, this is his first full season as a real starter. Go out there and have to throw the ball 46 times against a defense that led the league in interceptions last year. That's absolutely ridiculous on the coaching staff and the offensive coordinator to ask your second year quarterback to do. And it's absolutely ridiculous for your offensive coordinator not to get your 240-pound feature back that you used a first round draft pick for to ball 20 times a game. Here's Najee Harris's stats through 4 games. 14 rushes in game against Houston, 71, average 5.1 yards a clip. I can give you an easy number for 2 easy carries to where he should have had at least 16 carries in that game. On the 4th and 1, he definitely should have got the ball on the 4th and 1. There's no question, no doubt about it. This team is about building an identity on offense. There is absolutely zero identity on offense. We still have our identity on defense, or the Pittsburgh defense. They can get after the quarterback and they can still force turnovers. But what goes hand in hand with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense and the way the Pittsburgh Steelers like to play defense is getting off to an early start and an early lead and giving your defense a little bit of insurance points to take more risks, to send more exotic blitz packages, to bring it from all over, and you can take more risks on defense to try to force turnovers and try to force big plays on defense. Like the Houston Texans, they got off to an early lead, and then it got to the point in the game to where we were doing absolutely nothing on offense, and they had the lead, and they were just protecting the lead. They weren't even really trying to push the ball downfield offensively until the end of the game when they had that one big play at the end of the game. But they were just systematically kind of like a West Coast pick and pick, dig and dunk, and just running the ball, and they were able to execute, and the offense couldn't do shit. And it's sad that 4 games now this season, our 240-pound running back has yet to get the ball 20 times. 19 games against Vegas, we won that game. Only 10 times against Cleveland, and only 6 fucking times against the San Francisco 49ers. So that's a total, and what? 2 targets in the receiving game, 1 target, 3 targets, 2 targets in each game. You're targeting this guy. Try to get him more involved in the receiving game. You have to get him involved. Get him in the screen game. You got to do something. Let's go back to Coach Radio. There he is, Coach Radio. Coach Radio, you need to get your 240-pound back involved. This is unacceptable. You have to, if you want to get production on offense, you have to get the balls in your most productive and your best player's hands. In your best player on offense, I don't care what anybody says, is Najee, the 240-pound first-round pick that you took out of Alabama. And this is the type of game I've been saying it: win, lose, or draw, you got to run the motherfucking ball. And this is a game where you got your first-round draft pick, Broderick Jones, starting his first start in the NFL. This is a game that is historically a dogfight, a smash-mouth football type of game. AFC North football, the greatest rivalry, probably one of the most highest rated battles there is in the NFL, because people love to watch that old school brand of football that the NFL is trying to get away from with all these rule changes that make it basically flag football and act like they really give a damn about player safety when we know they really don't. They just want to put out that front so they don't have to shell out money to the NFLPA. That's really what it's all about. And, you got to get your players the ball, Coach Radio. And this is about establishing an identity on offense. And that identity, which is Rudy wants, obviously, by keeping you there. And it's a top-down philosophy, just like it pretty much is a top-down philosophy for the Ravens, that you have to play defense and run the ball to win in this league. And we need to try to establish the run come Sunday against the Baltimore Ravens, win, lose, or draw. Kenny Pickett's ready to go. And if I don't see Najee Harris get the ball at least 20 times in this game, I might take my TV and I might smash it and burn all my Steelers attire. No, I'm not going to go all that far. I'm still going to be a Steelers fan, but I'm going to be pretty goddamn upset, all right? Because you need to get your best player the ball, and Najee's the best player of the ball. I don't want to hear this Jaylen Warren shit. Jaylen Warren is not better than Najee Harris, all right? Like I said before, Jaylen Warren went undrafted for a reason. Yeah, he has talent. Yeah, he has work ethic. And yeah, he deserves opportunities to get the ball in his hand too. But you got to feed Najee Train the ball. And we got to, it's just got to start. We got to start establishing some type of identity on offense. So I want to see a run-heavy game plan here. Hopefully Kenny goes out and takes advantage of it. At least, very least, a balanced game plan. I mean, I've been saying to get Jaylen Warren and Najee in the backfield at the same time. They even talked about doing it in the offseason, so I don't know why they don't do it. So I just want to talk about this. And Coach Radio, Najee's quote, and his stats. So here we go, Steelers.